that this is a village where many women choose to remain unmarried, even as they reach the age traditionally considered suitable for marriage. Because there are no men living in this place, whatever is here has also settled in the cities. Even their wives live independently in their own homes throughout this entire small village. Women who speak are the ones who make things happen. This village is entirely run by women. In this place, every man is required to manage everything independently, from farming to all household chores. Many women are eagerly ready to marry him and start their lives together. But there are some conditions. If a man willingly accepts those specific terms, then these women will gladly marry him themselves right now. What are these conditions? We will discuss them in the video where millions of people live on this earth. There are numerous countries around the world, and each country boasts its own distinctive traditions and vibrant customs. Food is one important way of living, but there are some unique places where the people embrace a distinctly different way of life. Customs and traditions vary significantly across cultures, although they often place the greatest importance on men. It happens quite often, but there are specific places where only women's opinions are truly considered and valued. Only they are given importance, my dear friends. This is a small village in Brazil that the Mina gas field is located 125 kilometers away. The name of this small village is Noida 2 is a unique community where only women residents reside. The population of this village is between approximately 600 and 700 on Instagram. There is also a page that you are viewing on your screen. Their YouTube channel has a Facebook page because there are hardly any men here, so it's mostly women. She makes videos herself, mentioning her name and other details in them, so that someone can marry them. People contact them. However, when most men discover the real and often challenging conditions of marriage, they tend to back away from committing to it. This is the reason why many women living here are forced to spend their entire lives alone without companionship. It's not that all women here live without the institution of marriage. In fact, nearly 100 women are happily married, living here, but their husbands do not stay in the village for the entire village and the women here. An insightful documentary has also been produced about them, showcasing their vibrant lives and experiences in Brazil. The history of this charming village is quite fascinating and truly worth knowing more about and exploring further. It is important because without knowing the history, we will not understand what this village is all about. Why do women seem to stay rooted in the 18th century? There was a remarkable woman named Maria Center who lived in Hall. But her husband used to verbally and emotionally abuse her, which is why she needed a safe place to find support and healing. Maria unexpectedly fell deeply in love with another man named Chico Fernandez and ultimately decided to leave her husband. Decided to stay with her boyfriend because Maria is going to be the mother of her boyfriend's child. She was a devoted mother who chose to live with another man after leaving her husband during the changing times of the 18th century. Becoming was considered a sin while Maria's husband did not love her in any way. He frequently resorted to physically abusing her without any hesitation. When Maria decided to live with her boyfriend, it was a decision that the church's priest there, Gerenta, absolutely didn't like it at all, because in their eyes it was a sin. The priest. Maria was expelled from the church, along with her boyfriend and their young child, due to a series of unfortunate events. They felt they needed to expel Maria's family from the village, to isolate them from the community. No member of their entire family lineage was permitted to enter the church for the next 4 generations that followed. The member could no longer attend church services for the next 4 generations because of a significant family disagreement. The priest had expelled Maria from the church, so all the women of the village gathered there in solidarity and support. They began to perceive the nearby villages and communities as bad women, even to the extent that now, no one in the village was willing to marry any of the women who were already married to someone else. Their husbands have left them, and now these resilient women must navigate life alone in this small, close-knit village. I had to manage everything all by myself, from farming and tending crops to completing household chores and simply living life. These women earned money all by themselves. A priest came here in 1950. who has a woman from the village. Donald married Alina happily, but sadly the pastor passed away in 1955. The marriage of Donald to Alina meant that they were united. Now the women of this village are not bad for the community, yet the people from the surrounding villages they were regarded as bad and were never allowed to enter the church, not even once in this village. The women chose their leader, and in 1950 it was quite significant for a woman to be a leader. Women took a pivotal step by choosing to live independently and create their own rules and laws. The village operated in this manner, without men. But now, women desired companionship with men for marriage, but they sought a partner who truly met their standards and ideals. In the village, a lack of trust led to few women getting married. After getting married, her husband is only able to spend just 2 days a week in this small village due to his work commitments. For 5 days, he had to go to the city to earn money. He could never buy land in this village. He was unable to ascend to the position of chief and was also unable to mistreat any woman in his community. Furthermore, he generously donated a significant portion of his property to the village women prior to the marriage ceremony. Help was once needed, but now conditions apply. There were so many men that they weren't marrying the village women, especially those who were already committed or married. They were forced to live in the cities as time passed, and Nueva became 2 villages. The movement, named Women's Power, inspired a documentary and attracted tourist visitors. Farming is done in the village. There is also a factory where various types of clothes are made. Nowadays, the women here even fashion their own husbands. She is using social media in her desire and are actively seeking a lifelong life partner. Whoever these men are. To get married, he must accept their strict conditions, but now most of the village seems to disagree. Women have collectively decided that any man who chooses to marry them will spend around 4 to 5 days each week with them. He can choose to remain in the village. He must spend his entire life surrounded by these women, or he can take his tractor. He can also choose to give this money to help improve the village, but he will need to listen carefully to the women living there. We need to understand their feelings a bit. The men ultimately decided to follow through with this choice, and today they happily reside in this village alongside the same women. There is also a theater under the open sky in Haingav where people sing and dance every day. They are, and the donor who was the first chief here. We remember. There is a shop in the village from which all the villagers buy their goods. A pottery farm exists. A big kitchen, a place where everyone comes together to eat meals. These women were sad about there was nothing nearby. She was alone, but today in their village, everything essential like electricity and water is present. The only missing element is people. If someone wishes to marry them, they joyfully welcome the proposal and commit to spending their entire life with that special person. Men only have to accept their conditions, and nothing has been accepted. This person has been living in this village for the past 22 years, and this is their wife who now lives with them. So friends, if you liked the video and found the information good, please like this video. Expand your experience by sharing and subscribing to the channel, and hello. Take care.